I'm Maya Sundermeyer, and I would like to welcome you to the latest episode of my vlog series. So far, I have been able to share my own experiences on what it's like for me to live with Asperger's syndrome. A second thing that I will do is give my 2 cents of what's going on with autism in the media. A third area entails providing tips and advice for those of you that are on the autism spectrum. And then I also reach out to friends, family members, peers, mentors, educators, employers, and anybody that's in the community. And finally, on occasion, I will cover topics on things that I'm passionate about. But before I dive into tonight's topic, I have a few things to mention. Number one, though I'm not, or I do not have anything posted in the upper right-hand corner, I have a great recommendation for you. Now, there are lots of great TED Talks that are autism related, and as you know, I get involved and I watch them, and I also post a lot of things, and here are some really great TED Talks. Number one, you can find The World Needs Different Kinds of Minds by Temple Grandin, and you could also find The History of Autism, which is by Steve Silberman. And Jonathan Chase, who is a magician, is on the spectrum that thinks in patterns. I also have a series of written blogs on wordpress.com, which are practical application and scholarly, and you can find those on helloworld240.wordpress.com. That's helloworld240.wordpress.com. And finally, you guys can look for me at a couple of different autism conferences coming up. Number one, you can find me in Chattanooga on the 21st of April at the Chattanooga Autism Conference. And then again, you can find me at the Autism Conference in Exposition of Georgia. And I would be happy to meet you, and I'd be happy to hear your feedback as I participate in these presentations. Right now, though, I would like to do my reviews of what it was like for me to go to my first cat cafe, because as you guys know, I was at Java Cats earlier today, and I first of all wanted to let you know that the cats are absolutely beautiful, and I would like to take home that little orange cat whose name is Delroy, and I am thinking in my heart that maybe I'd like to take him home, but I'm not sure. And what I wanted to mention, though, there are a few things that I didn't really take into consideration, and the things that I learned along the way. So while I was really excited about my first experience, I discovered that when I walked into the cat cafe, it was a very overwhelming experience and environments for the cats alone, because number one, these cats were introduced to a new setting, and these cats get introduced to other cats all the time because they're coming from a overcrowded no-kill shelter where people are trying to get these kitties into the adoption program. And another thing that I learned too is that these cats have not been around each other that long, and so they're not comfortable, and every so often they'll be walking and another cat will start growling and hissing and spatting at it, and they'll just pick on it. And I also learned too, and I remember that cats are just, they're neophobic, meaning that they're afraid of new situations, and they constantly have to deal with the new people coming in and out of the cat lounge every single hour. And that is or can be very stressful and overwhelming, and particularly when it's crowded. Now, only 12 people can be in the room at a time, but it can still be a lot for a cat. And I also learned that when I was petting these cats that they were so nervous that they were walking around. I mean, they let you pet them, but because they were so overwhelmed, they just kept moving around. And you couldn't even pet them that long, otherwise they would run away. I also noticed that a lot of them, or none of them, jumped into my lap. And finally, while it was overwhelming for the cats, the environment was very overwhelming for me too, because while there were people in there talking, they also had loud music, I mean, not super loud, but pop music and rock music playing over the intercom and over the speakers. And I'm thinking, that's not the best environment for cats. Am I going to go there again? Yes. Yes, because those cats are my life, and the people that work there are really passionate about what they do, just like what I'm passionate about. And another thing that I learned though is I'm never going to get myself a regular iced coffee again because me drinking iced coffee not only makes me jittery, but it also doubles the levels of stress and overwhelmingness with these cats, and especially when they're spatting and hissing at each other. And when I'm jumping all over the place, that makes the cat even more nervous. So, without further delay, what I would like to do is show you a 1-minute clip of these cats, and then I'm going to sign off right after that. So here goes. Hey, Mama Turnip. You be nice to the other kitties, Mama Turnip. Do you know what this one's name is?
Definitely a boy, you know?
Hey.
Hey. He says, I don't know you that well.
Hey. Come here. He's a big cat. Yeah, he's friendly. Yeah,
This has been the most successful toy right here.
Hey, you hissing at each other? Hey. Delroy. 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 Hi, Delroy. Hey, Mama, knock it off. Hey, you knock it off. Well, there you have it. I hope you really enjoyed that video blog. Of course, I'm out of time, but I would absolutely love to hear from you, especially those that are cat lovers or animal lovers. And I would like to know, is there anybody else in here on the spectrum that has been to a cat cafe? And what were some of your experiences? Again, I plan on going back to that cat cafe because cats are my life. And there's something that I've always been obsessed with since 6 years old, and I continue to go. But if you like what I'm doing, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I also look for more video blogs every Monday afternoon and Monday evening, and you can find my Facebook Live videos on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Pacific Time. Until next time, I'm Maya Sundermeyer, and I'm signing off.